Imagine a life where your body is no longer the master, but you are. A life where you are not slave to your physical desires and impulses, but rather they are tools at your disposal. Sounds intriguing, doesn't it? Welcome to a journey of self-discovery, where we delve into the depths of our existence, beyond the physical realm, into the spiritual. In this world we live in, where our senses are constantly bombarded by external stimuli, it's easy to lose sight of who we truly are. We often find ourselves being led by our bodies, controlled by our desires and impulses, like marionettes dancing to the tunes of our physical cravings. But what if I told you there's another way? A way where you are not just the puppet, but also the puppeteer. The idea of being a slave to our bodies is not new. Philosophers, spiritual leaders, and thinkers have pondered over this for centuries. They observed that our physical existence often overshadows our spiritual essence, making us believe that we are nothing more than our bodies. But they also proposed a solution: breaking free from this physical bondage to uncover our true selves, our spiritual selves. How liberating it would be to not be dictated by our physical needs, but instead use them as tools for our spiritual growth. To not be the slave, but the master. This is not just a philosophical concept, but a practical possibility, a way of life that many spiritual seekers have successfully adopted. So are you ready to embark on this spiritual journey? To explore the possibility of breaking free from your body's control and discovering your true self? To challenge the norm and redefine your relationship with your body? If so, you're in the right place. This is merely the beginning of our journey. In the upcoming segments, we will dive deeper into this concept, exploring the ways in which spiritual people have managed to break free from their physical selves, the challenges they faced, and the triumphs they achieved. Think about it. Who's in control, you or your body? Stick around to discover how spiritual people learn to break free. And don't forget to subscribe, it means the world to us. Ever noticed how often we are dictated by our bodily needs and desires? Hunger, fatigue, lust, the list goes on. It's like we're on a never-ending merry-go-round of needs that our body insists we must satisfy. And more often than not, we find ourselves succumbing to these demands without a second thought. Consider hunger, for instance. It's a primal urge, a survival instinct. When our stomach growls, we seek food. Sometimes, even when it doesn't, we still find ourselves mindlessly reaching for that bag of chips or that extra slice of cake simply because it's there. Our body craves it, and we oblige. Then there's fatigue. How many times have we missed out on opportunities because we were just too tired? Maybe it was a social gathering, a workout session, or even a sunrise that we promised ourselves we'd watch. But when the time comes, our body demands rest, and we give in. And let's talk about lust. It's a powerful force, one that can lead us astray if not managed appropriately. It can cloud our judgment, make us act in ways we later regret. It's our body's way of seeking instant gratification, and often we let it take the reins. But the truth is, all these urges are part of being human. They're not inherently bad. They serve essential purposes: to keep us alive, to ensure our species continues, to give us pleasure. The problem arises when we let these physical desires dictate our lives, when we become slaves to our bodies. We let hunger drive our eating habits, fatigue control our schedules, and lust influence our relationships. We let our bodies become our masters, and in doing so, we often neglect our minds, our spirits, our true selves. So, we're clear that our bodies often have the upper hand, but the question is, should it be this way? Is it possible to strike a balance to satisfy our bodily needs without letting them take over? Is there a way to free ourselves from the shackles of physical desires and reclaim control? Let's explore that in the next segment. The spiritual path offers a different perspective. It suggests that you are not your body, but something far more profound. Imagine for a moment that the body you see in the mirror, the one you feed, clothe, and care for, is not entirely you. Sounds a bit far-fetched, doesn't it? But that's the beauty of the spiritual perspective. It stretches our minds beyond the boundaries of the familiar and tangible into a realm of profound possibilities. In the world of spirituality, There's a belief that we are not merely our bodies, but rather, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Yes, you heard it right. We are spiritual beings first, and our bodies are just the vessels, the vehicles that allow us to navigate this physical world. Our bodies are important, no doubt, but they do not define us. Now let's dive a bit deeper into this concept. Picture yourself as a driver in a car. You control the vehicle, but you are not the car. The car is a tool that helps you move from point A to point B. Similarly, our bodies are tools, vessels that help our spiritual selves navigate the world. They allow us to interact with the physical world, to experience its beauty and challenges. But just like the driver is different from the car, our true selves are different from our bodies. Our true selves are beyond physicality. They are not confined by the dimensions of space or the constraints of time. They are limitless, timeless, and infinitely powerful. This is the self that spirituality encourages us to discover and understand. And this understanding is not just philosophical, it has practical implications too. It changes our relationship with our bodies. No longer do we see our bodies as the masters dictating our lives, but as tools that we can use to experience and learn from the world. Quite a revelation, isn't it? But how do spiritual people apply this understanding and break free from the body's control? And that, my friend, is a journey we'll explore in the next part of our discussion, so stay tuned. Breaking free from the body's control isn't a one-time event. It's a journey, a process, a practice. It's about stepping onto a path that leads to a deeper understanding of the self and the world around us. It's a path many spiritual seekers choose to walk, and today we'll delve into some of the practices they use to gain control over their bodies. Firstly, let's talk about mindfulness. Now, this isn't just a buzzword. It's an age-old practice that has found renewed relevance in our fast-paced modern world. Mindfulness is about being fully present in the moment, about paying attention to the here and now. It's about noticing the sensations in your body, the thoughts in your mind. It's about observing without judgment, just being. This act of pure observation helps us to detach from the body's demands, thereby gaining control. And then there's meditation. Often paired with mindfulness, meditation is a practice that takes us even deeper into the realm of self-awareness. It's about quieting the noise, calming the storm, and finding stillness within. It's about sitting with oneself, tuning into the breath and letting go of the body's control. Over time, meditation can lead to profound insights about the self and the universe. But spiritual practices aren't limited to just mindfulness and meditation. There's yoga, a discipline that unites the body, mind, and spirit. Yoga, with its physical postures, breath control, and meditation, offers a holistic approach to gaining control over the body. It's a practice that can be adapted to meet individual needs and abilities, making it accessible to all. There's also the practice of fasting, which is used in many spiritual traditions as a means of purifying the body and the mind. By intentionally refraining from food, we exert control over the body's most primal urge, hunger. This discipline, when undertaken mindfully, can lead to a deeper sense of control and freedom. And let's not forget about the power of prayer. Regardless of religious affiliation, prayer serves as a reminder that we are more than our physical bodies. It's a practice that can bring comfort, hope, and strength, helping us to transcend the body's limitations. These practices, from mindfulness to meditation, yoga to fasting, prayer to contemplation, all serve to guide us on the path to freedom. Each offers a unique perspective, a different way to assert control over the body and step into the realm of the spirit. Each practice requires dedication, patience, and discipline, but the rewards are immeasurable. These practices may seem simple, but their impact is profound. But wait, there's more to it. Like any journey, the path to breaking free from the body's control is filled with challenges, but the triumphs make it all worthwhile. Let's be real, this is not a journey for the faint-hearted. It's a path filled with obstacles and stumbling blocks. Think of it as climbing a mountain with a blindfold on. You can't see the summit, and you don't know what's waiting for you ahead. The only thing you have is faith. Faith in yourself, faith in the process, and faith in the divine source. One of the most common challenges faced by spiritual seekers is doubt. Doubt about the journey, doubt about their abilities, and sometimes doubt about their faith. It's like a nagging voice in the back of your head, questioning your every move, your every decision. But remember, doubt is only a thought, and thoughts can be changed. There's also the challenge of surrendering to the process, surrendering to the divine source. It's about letting go of control, and that's not easy. It's like jumping off a cliff and trusting that you'll land safely. It's scary, it's terrifying, but it's also liberating. Now let's talk about triumphs. The feeling of overcoming a challenge, of conquering a fear, is like tasting victory. It's exhilarating, it's empowering, and every triumph, no matter how small, is a step closer to freedom. Imagine finally reaching the summit of that mountain. You remove your blindfold, and the view takes your breath away. That's what the triumph feels like. It's the realization that you've made it, that you've broken free from the body's control. There's a beautiful story about a spiritual seeker who was struggling with doubt. One day, he decided to surrender to the process, to trust in the divine source. And in that moment of surrender, he felt a sense of peace, a sense of freedom he had never felt before. That was his triumph. The journey isn't easy, but the destination makes it worth the struggle. Now let's wrap this up. Imagine a life where you're not constantly at the mercy of your body's whims and desires. A life where you're truly free. That's the beauty of a liberated life. It's a life where you're not constantly in a tug-of-war with your body, but rather you're in harmony with it. In this video, we've delved into the idea that we are often slaves to our bodies. We're driven by its needs, its wants, its urges. This is a life where the body is the master and we, the spirit, are the servants. But it doesn't have to be this way. We can break free. We've explored the concept of spiritual freedom, the idea that we can rise above the physical and connect with the spiritual. We've discussed the path to freedom, a journey that is often challenging, but ultimately rewarding. It's a journey that requires determination, courage, and above all, self-awareness. A liberated life is one where you are not controlled by your body, but by your spirit. It's a life where you make conscious choices, not based on physical urges, but on spiritual wisdom. It's a life where you're not just surviving, but truly living. The benefits of a liberated life are immense. It's an existence where you're not tossed around by the waves of desire, but rather you navigate your own course. It's a life of peace, of calm, of serenity. It's a life where you're not just reacting to the world around you, but actively shaping your own reality. In the end, the choice is yours. Remain a slave to your body or embark on a journey towards spiritual freedom. It's a journey that's not always easy, but it's one that is undoubtedly worth it. It's a journey that can lead you to a life of true liberation. Thank you for watching, and remember, your support means the world to us.